What a weekend in Hawkeye sports. Disappointment at Kinnick, a hoops team on the rise at Carver, and a number of Hawkeye student athletes competing in several different black and gold sports as well. So we'll kick tonight's show off right away with Daily Iowa TV sports reporter Chelsea Brown ready to go. Chelsea? When Title IX was passed, women's teams were coached almost exclusively by females. Today, that number has steadily declined. This is Jovana Simic standing outside the Hayden Fry football complex, where earlier today Iowa head coach Kirk Ferentz met with the media to discuss the recent changes to his coaching staff. While the Hawkeyes are coming off their worst season in over a decade, Ferentz assured that these moves will help the program. The Iowa men's tennis team will host the Illinois Fighting Illini at the Hawkeye Tennis Complex Friday afternoon. The Hawkeyes are looking to bounce back from a 7-0 blowout loss to the Illini in Champaign, Illinois earlier this month. Now, the Hawkeyes just played the Badgers 2 weeks ago in Madison, Wisconsin. The hero for that game was Morgan Johnson. However, she had foul trouble tonight, so someone else had to step up and lead the team to victory. And that player was Jamie Printy. 4 years ago, 18 players learned they would play every single home game at Kinnick Stadium, and on Saturday afternoon, they played at Kinnick one last time. Signed into law in 1972, Title IX created major changes in our education system, such as women and girls found new opportunities both in classrooms and on athletic fields. Although Title IX has had a positive impact on participation for female athletes, there is a decrease in the presence of women in other areas.
The number of women who are now in coaching positions, or who are, even more important, who are in administrative positions.
When Title IX was passed, women's teams were coached almost exclusively by females. Today, that number has steadily declined. A study done at the University of Iowa shows that the number of female coaches at NCAA schools hit an all-time low of 42.4% in 2006. That number has slightly risen to 42.9% in 2012. Dr. Burrell believes this is due to social trends in our society.
It also seems logical, given our ideology of male superiority, particularly in sport, that men would be able to do anything, they'd be able to coach anything. Whereas the idea was that women, it didn't seem logical to people, still doesn't, that women can coach a men's sport.
According to NCAA data, 60% of women's teams are now coached by men. And while men are coaching women's teams in high numbers, only 4% of men's teams are coached by women, an increase of 1% of female coaches over 15 years. Eileen Narcata-Welp, a graduate assistant for health and sports studies at Iowa, has said in her experience that more men have taken on coaching women.
I'm not going to say that all men believe that the reason that they coach women is it's easier to get into the game, but I think a majority do believe that.
With Title IX's 41st anniversary just around the corner, the future of women's sports is still up in the air. Jovana Simic, Daily Iowa TV Sports. The Iowa women's basketball team took on interstate rivals Northern Iowa Saturday. The home crowd was expecting a comfortable win, but just before halftime, the visiting team made it appear otherwise. Iowa took its first lead at 4-3 when sophomore Samantha Logic scored a jumper a little over 2 minutes into the game. Then senior Morgan Johnson extended the lead to 7-3 with a layup and a free throw. Northern Iowa was able to cut the lead to 6, and thanks to an 11-point, 8-rebound effort from Morgan Johnson and 7 points from senior Jamie Printy, Bluder's Bunch plotted its way to a 30-24 lead at the half. Things changed in the second half, though. Bluder's Bunch took an 18-8 run to a 10-point game, and after that, the Hawkeyes never looked back, winning the game 68-46. A big night for Morgan Johnson, who finished the game with a double-double with 19 points and 12 rebounds. Samantha Logic also impressed the crowd, adding 15 points to the Iowa win.
I thought this was a good win for us tonight. We kind of slowed things down and executed, and kind of, we were trying to run before we could walk, and some of those turnovers that we were making were just because we were trying to, I think, hurry a little bit too much and not execute our offense enough.
The win pushed Bluder's Bunch to 6-3 and eager to take on Iowa State, another in-state rival, this Thursday. Jovana Simic, Daily Iowa TV Sports. 4 years ago, 18 players learned they would play every single home game at Kinnick Stadium, and on Saturday afternoon, they played at Kinnick one last time. 18 seniors waited as the rest of the team ran out of the tunnel to be honored for their final moment in Hawkeye football. And although Iowa lost to Michigan State, it still was an experience these players will never forget.
My other senior partners and my family's out there. I just try to give it all, and I have to live with this memory for the rest of my life. My last time ever playing in Kinnick Stadium.
Some of the seniors that made an impact on the Iowa program are Sean Prater, Jordan Bernstein, and Broderick Binns. But the biggest impact was made by the record-breaking wide receiver Marvin McNutt, who didn't know 4 years ago that he would be leaving this way.
Very emotional. A lot of memories flowing through my head at the time, and as well as just times when things weren't so easy as far as what I was going, if I were even going to get a chance to play here, and then the fact that I have and kind of blossom as a receiver is a great blessing.
McNutt holds the record for receiving yards and touchdown receptions, and he, along with the rest of the seniors, will surely be missed at Kinnick Stadium. Jovana Simic, Daily Iowan TV Sports.